So you have like the main part, like the square part where like the main altar part is, and where the people in higher authority within the Tibetan Buddhism sit, whether it's the Dalai Lama or the ones below him. And right around outside, it's where all the monks sit, the ones that live in the monastery down in Mclodgeganj, or anyone who's visiting, they get dips on the best place closer to that place, and inside as well. And some important people or people who are invited might be able to sit inside as well. And then all around it is just Tibetan people, and any foreign person, whether it's from any country, and Indian people get to sit on that outskirt of it. You can still like see a lot. You see the whole thing basically. The only reason you might not see it's if you have a pillar in front of you, basically. And like they sit all around it. I usually always sat in front of it because I wanted to look at the main part with my own eyes. And in those, like, they distributed food all the time, tea all the time, milk tea, chai, no, butter tea and chai, and these like really fluffy bread things which were really good. And if they went on up to lunchtime, they would serve food. Mind you, everything was completely free, and they would give out cookies as well, like full packages of cookies for people, fruit, oranges, bananas, like so many things. If you were there, you were gonna be treated, and you were not gonna be in lack in any way. And so that was really interesting to see that, because I grew up in Portugal and I grew up going to the Christian church, Catholicism. All I ever knew was people giving out money I mean, you're not obligated to it, but you can, and they do pass through you. If you choose to give something, you can, and you don't have to give much. You can give a few cents, you can give an euro, you can give a note, you can give anything you want. But I've only seen that they're asking for something and you're giving them to the church. And there I only saw giving to people all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time. So it was a completely different perspective from what I've seen before. And usually what shows up of India is a lot of like the poverty and people living in not the best conditions and not in the best way, and not having safe environments or places that aren't clean. And it's not that that's not true, because I did see some of that, but there's a whole other different side. And another part that I don't think comes across, or that I realized until I was there, was how much people are taken care of as well, and how people from that country also give back a lot and give in service and try their best. Like, there's a lot of charity within the country as well, of giving off things for people who are less fortunate than other ones. And it's not like they're dependent on foreign European or American people, anyone, to go off and to serve their people and give to their people. Like, they are giving to their people as well. That's what I saw, at least. So that changed my perspective a lot. And yeah, I just went to a bunch of ceremonies. You feel a lot of energy. I felt a lot of energy. With or without the Dalai Lama there, like, there is a lot of energy in the air, because there's so many people chanting around you, and when you get into it, and if you allow yourself to feel the energy, you can feel a lot, like a lot. And that was one of my favorite parts, and why I kept going back all the time. Yeah, it was interesting things. There was also a mishap that happened, but that also taught me a different lesson as well. In the last ceremony that I went not, that wasn't the last one that I went. It was the last one that I went with one of the friends that, so all of the people that I came up with, one by one left. The last two literally left within 1 month to the day of each other. And then I was the only one who remained there because I just felt such a comfortable feeling in that place that I didn't want to leave. So I stayed there the 2.5 months. And so the last one, I got along with her so well. I really enjoyed my time with her, and I went with her, and it was the one with a big ceremony with the Dalai Lama. And we were sitting down. We made room for a guy to sit. So we reserved our places the day before, which you can do with, like, you can write your name down and people know that there's someone who's gonna sit there. And there's this one guy who absolutely did not prepare, and he was like, oh, I want to sit. And so we made way for him. She was in the best possible place and shifted off of that place to give it to him. Anyway, I guess that doesn't really even matter for the situation, but when they give off the tea, it is like they're carrying this humongous, this big metal filled with butter tea. Butter really burns, and it's freaking hot, like fuming hot. And if you don't have your own mug, they give off these paper cups. And so we didn't have our own mug, so we got the paper cups, and everyone around us, including monks who are amongst people, like everyone, where they're passing through, they're not gonna go line by line, so you just have to like, please fill up my cup. And so people around you, once you have your cup filled, are like, can you give it to them because you're closer, so they fill it up. And so we were doing that, and I got my cup, and I was thinking like, I was so close to the person in front of me that if they moved an inch, it was gonna spill if I just left it on the ground in order to fill up someone else's cup. And so I looked at my friend, and she was holding her cup, and I didn't see her with another mug or cup in her hand, so I just asked her if she could hold mine, but that was so freaking hot I couldn't even hold it in my hand. That's why I was putting it on the ground, but I was just like, if I move the wrong way or the person in front of me moves the wrong way and I'm not looking at it, I can't prevent it from spilling, and it is so fuming hot. And so she was in front. She's not in front. I gave it to her, and she didn't put it on the floor. She held it in her own hands. And I didn't realize that people kept calling out to her, and I was just worried with someone else's mug. And then I hear something that happened, and I give someone else the mug, and I looked at her, and she, like, the whole fuming cup just poured into her leg. And it really burned her really bad, because it was like burning hot butter. And so anyway, we got up for her to go to the bathroom and rinse it off in cold water because it was really hurting her, and I hadn't seen a thing like that in my whole life. And I felt almost, am I responsible because I gave her my cup and she couldn't hold both of them? Was I too worried to just give off to other people that I put her in that situation? Obviously I'm not responsible. Like, she said yes, the cup, she could have said I can't because it's too hot, or like I can't hold both of them. But like I felt really sorry for the situation, and I was like wondering if I played a role in that. I don't know. I told her that, and she was like, no, obviously not, but cause yeah. So that happened. Either way, we get up to go, and the moment we're going up, it's like they're like distributing food. So there's so many monks in the main corridor, and everyone is like moving around because they're getting food and whatnot. I had just gotten rice with beans, plate, and we just got up when we got to the main corridor, and there's like monks passing with cases full of fruit and like so many things being distributed, and we're trying to get to the main corridor that goes towards the bathroom. So that's where the Dalai Lama comes from and where he leaves. And it turns out the moment they start distributing the food is also the moment he's gonna leave. So they're like literally. So we got there and she told the security guard what happened, and he was like, eventually was like, okay, you can go through you can go through here. So he lifts up the thing and we passed and we look towards the door, and they're literally unfolding the red carpet for the Dalai Lama to come, and we're in the same place. We're literally like they're unfolding it in front of us, and we're not supposed to be there. People were staring at us. We're like, you're not supposed to be there. And we're like, we know, but we really have to get to the other side. And then I remember we stopped almost close to the door because it was like the Dalai Lama is literally about to come out and we're right here. And but no, she was in too much pain, so we just we went to the bathroom, and she was under the water, and it was just not really good, and she was really in a lot of pain, and I really felt like staying close to her, but people kept saying for me to go get help, and I was like, I'm gonna have to go through so many thousands of people. And I had already asked 2 people to get help, and none of those in like a span of a lot of minutes had come back. And so this lady came and she was like, you should go get help. And I was like, I know, but I really feel like I shouldn't leave her alone. But then she kept saying it, and I was like, maybe I should. And I left. So number 1 lesson right there. I didn't listen to my own inner intuition, and I allowed someone else's ideas and thoughts and opinions to override what I was feeling inside. That was the number 1 lesson. So I went, and there was a bunch of people, and I get to the people who are in the organization, and they were like, we can't really do much. Everything is closed. I think it was a national holiday there, or like a local holiday, something like that. But they want to try to help at the same time. And then so eventually that lady comes with me. When we get there, there's absolutely no one in the bathroom. Not one person. It was filled with like 20 people, and it was so empty when I got there with the lady from the organization. And she was like, where's your friend? I have absolutely no idea. And if you go to those ceremonies, you cannot take your phone. Like, you're not allowed to enter with your phone. So we left, both of us left our phone back in the other town, up the hill, the one up the hill of Mclodgeganj. And we had no way of contacting each other. We never talked about how do we find each other if we lose each other. And yeah, it was just like, oh, where is she? I had this inner feeling that I was gonna find her, and I knew she was fine. I mean, she's an adult. She can manage herself. This place is really safe. Like, everything is fine. But I just felt like I left her when she needed someone close by with her. But obviously someone helped her out. I was just like, why did they leave? And so then I was trying to find her, and I went to the main gates, and I went to organization people back and forth. How can I find my friend and whatnot? Because I was just like, I know she's okay, but I just feel like I should be there with her if she needs anything, because I don't know, I just felt like I should do that. And I went up down the hill because I found a friend who helped me out, and we were going to meet her mom because she also didn't have her phone, and her mom had a phone. And as soon as we went to a clinic to see if she was there, she wasn't there. We went up the hill again, and then we went up to the temple, to the bathrooms again, outside, and then we were going to meet my friend's mom. And as soon as we got to my friend's mom, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna call the hostel just to see if she went there, just so I know that she's okay. As soon as we say there, we walked a bit into the main street outside the temple, and I hear my name screaming, Inez, 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 Inez. And it was her, like, in these so different shoes from someone else's, because also I had her shoes because in her bag, because she didn't take anything. So I had both of our stuff, our shoes and all of our stuff, and she didn't have anything as well, not even her shoes. She was barefoot. Someone else gave her shoes, and she came running to me, and I was like, oh, you're okay? She was much better. They took her to the monastery, and the ladies, the monk ladies, they took care of her and gave some, like, pour some cream, some medicine on her leg, and she was feeling much better. And we just didn't leave each other's for the rest of the evening. And then we went up with tuk-tuk because she was not going to go up that hill, that steep hill on walking. So that was one huge experience. And my takeaways from that experience, one was I didn't listen to my intuition. From the get-go, my intuition was, from that first story where the guy sat next to us, my intuition was to say for him to sit on my side, so my friend would stay in her exact place and I'd stay exactly in the same place, and he would sit on that other side, and I didn't say anything. So I should speak up on my intuition. Even if other people don't agree, at least I expressed it. The second one was my intuition told me do not leave her side, and I listened to the other lady. Listen to your intuition. And the third one was trust that everything will be fine because it always will. I knew I was gonna find her. I didn't know how, and I couldn't explain it logically because logistically, like in amongst the thousands of people, it's like finding a tiny, how do you call it? A tiny, I don't remember the name, the thing you sew with, in the middle of a hay barn. Like it's like how? I just knew. Trust that. And I felt throughout that whole process where I was looking for her, just trust, because you know you're gonna find her and you know she's okay. Don't panic, there's no need for that. You know that she's okay. And I trust that feeling, and I did find her. She came to me. So those were my main lessons from that one. And I think that's enough for this one because it's so long. There's so much that happened though in that trip. I haven't even scratched the surface. But those were some of the main things that happened and the main lessons from that experience itself. There's so much more that I could get into, but that will stay for another time. Goodbye.